Hey guys, buckle up for this one because we've got a lot to get through. What have we got today? Well, we've got the Merida E160 675 long. It's a long name, they all seem to be getting longer, but there's more. This is a custom build and it's got some pretty awesome stuff on it. It's got the Shimano EP801 motor, but it's been swapped out for one that cuts out at 45 kilometers an hour, and in New Zealand you can do that. It also has automatic shifting gears, and I'm not quite sure what to make of that at this stage. And it's also got some limited edition really powerful brakes. Now this bike was given to me to play with from Van Dyke's in Pataru, and basically what they wanted to show is you can buy this bike stock standard. It looks a bit like this if you wish, but if you want custom builds, they can do them. So if you're a cowcocky in the Waikato and you want something a bit special, Grant says he can help you out. In fact, I was riding with Grant the other day, and to be honest, all this tech stuff confuses me, so I actually filmed him and asked him some questions. And I wasn't going to use that footage, I just was for my own personal information. But to be honest, Grant said it so well, I'm going to show you some of what he said. Now, I just want to point out that if in the video Grant looks fat, that's not the case. It's just I still have the GoPro on hyperview, and that distorts everything. But anyway, let's hear what he had to say. Okay, so the Shimano EP801 motor has been swapped out, so that doesn't come with it. So to do that, you'd have to just buy a separate motor.
That's correct, yeah. So there's a class 2, which is your 32k now.
Yep. Then
your class 3, which is the 45.
So that's mountain bike legal in New Zealand?
100%, yeah. No speed limit in New Zealand at all.
No, that's cool.
Just that continuous watts output, so no problems at all there.
And you're changing the power settings, a bit funky, so that...
Yeah, press and hold for a second or half a second and you'll see it click through. So you can have up to 15 assistant modes should you so desire.
How does that work?
Well, you just go into the eTube software and you can...
So this is 3 of 7.
Yep.
So... And
then you can independently adjust the torque curve and power output of each.
So which one is the most powerful?
The 7 of 7. It goes yellow to let you know you're in boost.
And this, now you've really got me. So the what is it? It's an XT.
It's the Link Glide Dior XT.
Link Glide Dior
and it's
XT.
the Di2 version, which is their way of saying electronic. So you've got it's wired into the battery. So as long as you've got power on the bike,
yep.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about a. It's actually same as the KTM.
Yep.
And then you've got your manual controller up here.
Yep.
So you can just change up and down gears to your heart's content.
And what it displays on there, what is that?
Yeah, so you've got it'll tell you what gear you're in.
Oh, okay.
So you know if you ever needed to know. And then you've also got 3 modes. So the button here swaps you between manual, so that's fully manual, it'll only change gears up and down on the pedals.
Yeah.
Then you've got A1, because I can count.
Yeah, A1.
Which is fully automatic. So this will change up gears, down gears. Again, in the eTube app, you can customize this. So you basically pick a cadence you want to be in.
Yeah.
I think I set to about 77 or something like that.
Right.
But you can go right down to about 40 or right up to 120 if you really want it to be flying. And then it'll just change gears to try and keep you in that cadence range.
Yep.
And then A2, which is the
milk one.
Yeah, this is the this is the one that I actually ride it in. So this won't change gears while you're pedaling, but when you're coasting, it's going to change gears for you. It's going to, let's say you start at the top of a trailhead, you know, you're in your hardest, your fastest gear. You know, you come down, you go around a couple of corners, and you've slowed right down. You go to pedal off, realise you're in the wrong gear, try and chop the 3 gears. This is going to change gears for you already.
And we've got brakes on this thing.
So these are the Sram Maven limited edition. I think there's only a few thousand of these produced globally.
Yep.
So these are the not Van Halen design. Okay, they're not Van Halen, but very, very sexy looking brakes. And as Lance can attest from a quick ride, they are very powerful.
They are powerful, that's for sure.
And quite good looking. These are their latest and greatest, and of course gone to mineral oil, not dot fluid. So.
And DVO
suspension, these are their new Onx D1 38mm stanchion front fork, and then the new Jade at the back there. So
very cool. You should maybe start doing videos, man. You're better at this than me.
Well, maybe. It'd help if I wasn't still puffing from the race we just did.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to take this home and have a play.
Excellent.
All right, Grant did a pretty good job of that, I thought. And we was talking about we did a race. Well, we wanted to do a race to see what it was like to, just on the flat, between the EP8 doing 45 and the Bosch doing 32. So anyway, this is what that looked like. All right, I've got it in race, and Grant wants to race me.
We'll just go that way.
Go that way? Yeah. All righty. Alrighty, 20, 25, 28, 30, 30.
Are you right, Vince? Come on, mate.
I'm still with you. 31. 31. Alright, we're still on sitting on. Shows you never actually get to 32, eh? It says 30 point, lucky if you get to 31. Okay, it's quicker. Oh, I'm puffing hard now. Alrighty, proper test now. Alrighty, I've got Grant here. 32, no power, nothing. Pedaling. Oh, I've got up to 35, 36, 38. Oh, it's downhill. Oh, I might get to 45 without a motor. Oh. Okay, the first place we took this bike was actually Oropi Grove in Tauranga. Had a friend, we were doing a few laps there. It's got lots of nice little techie, rooty, difficult tracks to ride, so lots of good fun. I did a couple of tests. One, there was some switchback uphill track, and I had it in full automatic mode, so I'll show you what that looks like. And the other thing I did was there's a really steep climb, and I wanted to see how it compared between the Bosch race motor in race and boost on this, because I've been told that it's, 7 out of 7 is the most powerful mode. And so anyway, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now this is fully automatic, so I am gonna not change any gears and see if this can actually work. Oh, that's too hard to get. Oh, let's change down. Let's change down again. Okay. That feels. Oh, let's change down again. Let's change down again. Okay, so it is working. It's changed up. The only thing I think with automatic is how does it anticipate what's coming up? Oh, you see I'm in too big a gear. Well, certainly what I think is too big. You can, I think, set it to, oh, that's too big a gear. Oh, that's too big a gear. Oh, that's too big a gear. Now it's gone down now, and it's changed. Now I'm spinning in too small a gear. Now that's about right. That's too. Whoa, this is crazy. Oops. All right, give it a chance, Lance. Give it a chance. All right, big push. It's amazing it can change under this much load. It's changing down all the way. Oh, that's ridiculous. How many gear changes did you do? I've done 4,000. That's ridiculous. Straight up, yeah. Straight up the hill. Pedal to the metal. Let's see which of these bikes has got the go. Alrighty, I think the answer to your question is quite easy. The Bosch in race kills it. He's not even pedaling that hard. Hey, I'm coming. Unless this is not, it's supposed to be in that maximum boost setting, but it's not race. Okay, I must admit, I don't normally do road tests on my mountain bike reviews, but given I was having so much difficulty with the automatic gears, I thought, well, maybe we'll just try it out on the road. And also it's a good test. You can see that it is actually getting to the 45 kilometers an hour before cutting out. So anyway, come and join Mrs. Best Day Ever and me and for a little road ride. All right, a little bit of road testing. So I've got it fully in automatic and it's changing up. So, it sounds pretty rough, the gear changes, but yeah, it does change. Yeah, it's quite a big gear now, and I'm pushing a hard gear. Oops, change down. Okay, so we're going slightly uphill, and I'm going to slow the cadence down. Yeah, it's changing to an easier gear. Done it again, change an easy gear. So it does work. It sounds a little rough, but it actually feels okay. All right, let's try a bit of abuse on this thing. All right, so pedaling like mad, changing down gears, get into a hard gear. Now what's gonna happen? Oh, it's changing down, changing down, changing down. Whoops, yeah, okay, it works. That wasn't too bad. So this is it, is it? And it gets steep, does it? All right, so my wife says she doesn't reckon I can get up this thing. So I'm gonna try if I can get it up it and fully automatic. That's probably a bad idea. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's changing all over the show. Oh, why is it? It does go up and down quite a bit. Personally, I wouldn't be changing gear at all. Oh, sounds terrible. And I'm still in the wrong gear, I reckon. I wouldn't be in that gear. I guess you can set the cadence, but oh, it's terrible. Oh. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, okay, I'm stopping it. Going to manual, that's terrible. Okay, that is just infinitely better. Lock it in one gear and put the power down rather than constantly changing on you. Alrighty, supposedly this is in its most powerful setting, but it feels completely gutless. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is nowhere near the Bosch race motor. Feels like I'm in eco. Really does. We're gonna get it though. I don't like to admit defeat. Well, we made to the top, but that feels gutless. Gutless. Okay, well, I'm making a little video. Jacqueline has the EP8 and I've got the EP801. Yeah, okay, she's got a greater power to weight ratio. Wow, I'm working some. Yeah, I'm not convinced this new Shimano motor, it's either not set right, but this doesn't feel any more powerful. I'm not even sure it feels as powerful as the old Boost. Just leave me behind as usual. Okay, 45 kilometers an hour this thing cuts out at. Jacqueline's cuts out at 32. So far we're about even. 33, 35, 37, 40. Come on dear, what's your problem? Alrighty, 44. And now it's cut out on us, so no more gears. It's as fast as we're going to go, but that's a nice speed actually. I think for the road that's pretty spot on, isn't it? Okay, so we're at Rotorua now. It's a bit of a chilly day, kind of windy, which is why I got the shades on to try and, because I'm looking straight into the sun. But anyway, I love Rotorua, and the plan actually was to ride split ends first, but you know me, on the way there were some jumps, and so I wanted to see how this thing jumps. So anyway, have a look at this. All right, this will be a good little test. It's a jump, but at the bottom, it's quite nice to be able to pedal between the gap. So you got a little bit of jump there, but then a couple of pedal strokes, you see I'm not cutting out, and then boost it. All right, Alright, this is Katori jumps. They're quite tight little dirt jumps, so good practice to check out the handling. I actually snuck in a couple of pedal strokes in there. Works quite well. Doesn't cut out. Great. Alright, feeling good on the bike, so maybe we'll step it up just a shade. Oh, nice. This one always makes me nervous. Woo! Oh, that suspension in this is great. And you watch, as I come to a halt, you can hear the bike's changing down gear. That's an A2. So as I pedal away, I'm in the correct gear. So I actually think that is kind of cool. I'm getting used to that now, and that may be what I ride in. All right, we might as well do the last section. I'll put it in a really big gear. All right, then we can pedal down here and get loads more speed than normal. Oh, all right, we're going big. Holy crap. Now you watch as we just coast, or brake and coast. It starts to change down on its own, even while I'm rolling. Yeah, the chain ring's going round and it's dropping gears, and as I paddle away, I'm in the right gear. That is actually quite clever. I must admit, this thing actually jumped really well. I felt really quite confident. Initially I was unsure, but once I got into a few jumps, I felt really good with it. It's down as a long, this one, which is a 479 reach, and it's got a 64.4 degree head angle. So pretty good numbers for me. Probably everyone always asks, I always forget I'm 176 centimeters tall, but this thing actually fitted me really well. And funnily enough, I think my bike's only a 450 reach. For some reason they felt about the same, but anyway, I really liked it. The other thing that I did want to do, I think I mentioned there's split ends. It's a flat pedally sort of track. It's kind of downhill, but you often on a normal bike you hit that speed limiter. So I wanted to see if it could be more fun on this thing. So that's what we did next. All right, split ends, never been a favourite track of mine, basically because it's only a grade 3. It's quite flat, it's not very steep, and on an e-bike, because you basically cut out most of the time, and so the motor is just turned off most of the time, and that's annoying for anyone who rides a restricted e-bike. But anyway, so given this is 45, maybe it will make it more fun. And so far I think it's doing exactly that, because every time I pedal, like if I pedal here, the bike is working, the motor's working. My theory is, if I pedal, it's because I want to go faster, and therefore I want the motor to turn on, and I want it to feel the same on every single pedal stroke. It's a bit like with the gears, when it changes gears and you don't know what gear it's going to be in, it's not very nice. But when you know what gear you're going to be in, you're happy. And that's the same with the motor. If it's on all the time, every pedal stroke feels the same. And yeah, I'm puffing because I'm actually working even with the motor on. Some people struggle with that concept a little bit, but yeah, it's going good so far. Actually, to be fair, the trees have come up quite a bit, and the surface has improved dramatically. So yeah, for those people who got upset when I said I don't like split ends, I don't know that I'm going to be doing it every weekend though. Still a bit flat for my liking. Woo! I must admit though, I absolutely love these brakes. They are the most powerful brakes I've ever had. And a lot of people go on about modulation, which to me modulation just means you have to pull them on really hard to make them work. I like super sensitive, super powerful brakes, and that's exactly what these are. When you first get on them, yeah, they feel kind of twitchy, but as I say, they're just so impressive. All right, shall we give full on automatic mode a go? Oh, okay, let's see what happens.
You can see that going down there before in manual, I don't think I was changing gears. Pretty happy just in one gear. Let's see what the automatic thinks. So far it's kind of doing the same actually, which is good, so I'm staying in the one gear. It may be that automatic works better in some settings than others. So far on this, well, it's really not changing gear, so I changed then. Oh, that's right, just my ankle. Got a dodgy ankle. Right. Okay, so split ends is actually not bad. Definitely, I like this motor on this track. It's really cool, and I've got it in full automatic, and surprising enough, it's staying in one gear, so I guess it doesn't feel the need to change, which is what I would have agreed with. It's tight switchbacks where it seems to really annoy me. Be interesting to see what it does here, although it's not that tight. It's a big sweepy one. Oh yeah, change then, change down, change back up again. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have bothered myself. And yes, changed again. So yeah, I'm not a fan. But I don't know, it works. It's just the noise it makes that gets me more than anything. It sounds like I'm abusing the bike.
All right, well, let's have a quick recap on this bike. Overall, really enjoyed it. It jumped really well. I like the fact that I could pedal it at 45 kilometers an hour. It was good on the techie stuff, really enjoyed that. So overall, really enjoyed the bike, and I think, as I say, it'd be interesting to ride it as a stock standard bike, but it seems like a pretty good option. Interestingly, this has a 750 watt hour battery, but I read you can actually get a 360 watt range extender for it, and that would give you a seriously big range if you want to do something like the old Ghost Raider, a 2-day adventure ride or something like that. So that would be seriously cool. What about all the gubbins on it? Well, the suspension, the DVO suspension, never ever ridden with that before. And I really enjoyed it actually. Yeah, I would gladly have that on my bike. Soaked up the jumps, soaked up the rough stuff. Was genuinely quite impressed with that. The brakes, really impressed with the brakes. Like I say, I like super powerful brakes. I like brakes you just sort of touch and all the wheels lock up. I know some people that's not their thing, but I love super powerful brakes, and these were definitely that. So I really like the brakes. The drivetrain, that's an interesting one, isn't it? When it was in manual, it's really good. It changes crisply, it's nice and easy. I did have a little bit of issue with the controller just because the position for the downshift is exactly where my upshift is on my bike. But you get used to things like that really fast. The fully automatic mode, I personally thought was terrible. I would never use it. Let me know in the comments whether you use it, whether you like it, whether maybe I haven't tried to set it up, I've just had it how it's come to me, but I really didn't like it. It does have what they call the A2 mode, and that thing I did actually think was quite interesting in that if you're in a big gear and say you're coasting and you're getting slower, it will drop the gears so that when you start pedaling again, you're in the correct gear, and vice versa. And so I thought that was quite clever, and that did seem to work. And so, yeah, I know Grant, the guy who gave me this bike to play with, he said he rides with that all the time. So that maybe there's some merit in that, certainly. And then I guess we come to the motor, the EP801 motor, and does 45 kilometers an hour. Now I know many of you, I mean, if you're in that country, you know, full of snakes, spiders, crocodiles and sharks in a big desert, and you're stuck with riding at 25 kilometers an hour, it doesn't seem fair. But 45 kilometers an hour is really cool. People get obsessed with the whole, well, 45 kilometers an hour is too fast, but for me, it's not so much going to 45, because you still have to pedal, you still have to get to 45. But what for me the nice thing is that the motor always is consistent, it always works the same. So if you go to pedal, the motor is on. Whereas I hate that feeling at 28, you get a load of boost, at 29 a little less, 31 almost nothing, 32 zero, and then back to full boost again. I really don't like that feeling. And once you've ridden a bike that doesn't do that anymore, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is just beautiful. Now, as I say, in New Zealand we can do it. In some countries, I understand, well, obviously some countries you can only do 25 kilometres an hour, and I do understand it's complicated. In a lot of countries, access to trails, they're trying to lobby to make sure that e-bikes can get them, and they don't want to lose that access. I understand that. And then you get people who turn up on basically Sur-on motorbikes, and they also want access to the trails. So it's definitely a complicated issue. But for me, in the places I ride, I like being de-restricted. I don't ride much, gravel paths. I like to ride trails. But even today, some of those trails, just coming into a jump, putting a pedal stroke in, and the motor works is really, really nice. Anyway, certainly you can leave your comments on that one as to what you think about the motor. In terms of the power of the motor, I did a few tests with that. It probably is the same as the old EP8. Again, Grant said you could actually have 15 modes. You'd never want 15 modes, to be honest. This has 7, but you can just have as many as you want. The old 3 probably wasn't enough, so having maybe 4 or 5 I think could be a good thing, and you can tune them. And I don't know if this has been tuned so that that boost is the maximum output it will be. I really don't know. But it certainly was a poor cousin to the Bosch race motor when it came to climbing hills. It certainly didn't have that juice. But the thing about riding e-bikes is you get used to whatever power they've got. And I've been riding on this thing today, more than happy with the power that it's been outputting, and really enjoying the 45 kilometers an hour. And the decision is, would I rather have a Bosch race motor or a Shimano EP8 that does 45? And I really don't know the answer, because that's a real close one, I must admit. But I'd almost be tempted to go for the 45 kilometers an hour. I love that feeling of being able to just not having the motor cutting in and out. Anyway, there's a lot of me rambling as usual, but overall a really good bike. As I say, if you want to show Grant at Van Dykes and Bataro some love and you want one of these, or you want to do a custom build. One final thing though, and you can help me with this one. Initially I said to Grant that it's not exactly color coordinated, this bike, but he pointed out that I was wrong, and that all the colors match. The red matches the brake calipers, which matches the wheels, and the green matches, and the yellow matches, and the orange hubs match his orange pedals, and the orange there, and the orange there. So he says that it's perfectly color coordinated. But anyway, let me know in the comments whether you agree with Grant or whether you disagree. But if you say, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that. Thumbs up, like, leave us comments. I'm looking forward to the comments on this one, and we'll see you on the next one.